Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today is Friday, which means that I do a bunch of new releases. So if you are interested in that kind of thing and you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I have reviews coming out every single day of every single week, and on Fridays I have like 4 or 5 videos coming out. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely hit that subscribe button. But for the last 3 weeks, Netflix has been doing their trilogy special on Fear Street. So I've been watching them as they come out, and so this week we're going to be doing the final part, which is Fear Street Part 3, 1666. Fear Street Part 3, 1666 was released in 2021. It was written by Phil Grezaday and Lee Janiak and Kate Treffery, and directed by Lee Janiak. And no spoilers, of course, but the general idea is we are going back to the past to see the origin story of the witch, okay? And the way that they did this, they decided to do this, was that they took the main actors, all the actors from the first 2 parts, and they put them in the story that happened in 1666. So the person who played Dina played Sarah Fear, and so on and so forth, which at first I was kind of, like, I wasn't confused. I got it immediately, which I think is really cool that, like, we can do something like that and immediately understand what exactly is going on. But I was a little concerned that it might be a little too... how do I put this? It might be a little too redundant to see the exact same thing happen, but just, like, literally, like, 300 years ago with the same exact actors and characters. And, like, let me just tell you, it's not. It's pretty cool. I was pretty happy with it. And that's the first half of the film here, is just 1666. What happened to Sarah Fear? Like, all the entire origin story that happens for the trilogy is really, really cool. I was really happy with it. Very impressed as well. I did not think it was going to work the way that it did, and it did. So, good for them. I am very, very impressed and very happy with the way it turned out. Then, the second half of the film goes back to the present, which is in the 90s, and we follow the same characters from the first part of the trilogy as they try to figure out how to solve the problem to fix their friend who is currently possessed. And the ending, which I will not spoil, of course, does leave it open for other possible entries in the universe. I will get to that in a little bit. But I want to talk about the first part first, which is the first half of the film, which is in 1666. First of all, the origin story is really cool. I really liked it. And then as we progressed, it got better and better through that hour. And I do want to say there's a really cool surprise. I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a twist and a surprise, and it got me. I was like, oh! But I wasn't really ready for it, which is weird for me, because, like, I'm a huge R.L. Stine fan. So, like, normally I would get this kind of thing immediately, but I, like, completely didn't think about it. And I haven't read them in forever. I mean, it's been, like, probably, like, 10 years, but still. I grew up reading him, so I figured I'd be able to catch the twists immediately. I didn't. I had no clue this was happening. I knew the ending would happen the way that it happened, but I did not think that this would happen. I was like, oh, like, it was really, really cool. If you like witch stuff and like actual, like, Salem's kind of thing, this is something that you would really enjoy. I'm discovering I might actually really enjoy that kind of thing, which is good because I'm going to be reading Salem's Lot soon, and I think it has to do with witches. But we haven't had a movie that is just about witches in a while, like actual witches, like not like Harry Potter, but like actual, like, witch burnings, witch hangings, and like actual Salem and stuff like that. And honestly, bringing that back felt good, because, like, a lot of times we kind of stray away from the actual tropes of what happens in a witch movie, and this one they kind of go back to the tropes, but they reimagine them a little bit, and it feels fresh and new, even though it's kind of not. And I'm really happy that they decided to do that. I do think that next year, maybe even the year after, might be more of a witch kind of year. Like, right now we're back to the slashers. We're at the slasher stage. We've got the new Saw movie. We had Funhouse. We've got the new Halloween movie coming out. But I think that coming out soon, we'll see that the horror kind of branches off back to where it started, back with, like, really creepy movies with, like, witches and stuff. And as somebody who's trying to, like, get into more horror movies, I'm really excited for that, because I'm kind of getting sick of the whole ghost story thing. So I'm excited to get back to kind of, actual creepy stuff. So I'm really excited for that. In case you're wondering, I am doing the entire Halloween series, I think it's like 13 movies or whatever, in October. So if you're interested in that, make sure you're hitting subscribe. It's going to be a really, really crazy 2 weeks for me. I'm watching them all straight in a row, so it's going to be fun. But I think that this movie really did reimagine all of that in a way that is so unoriginal, though. And that's kind of part of the problem, is it's so unoriginal that it works as an original piece because no one's done it in so long. It is exactly the trope of a witch movie you would expect, but with a few sprinkled, like, young adult things in it, which really is good for me because I love young adult stuff. So if you like that kind of thing, this is definitely for you. I think that everyone's going to get a really good kick out of this film. It's really, really good. It's really solid. There is a few issues with it, though. They're like it's definitely not the best movie in the trilogy. I think the first one's still the best. I think this one's probably not as good as the second one either. But it just had this value of, like, it's closing. It's the bookend. We're done. And it felt really good. The issue that I had with it, particularly after the first half was, like, wildly entertaining and very easy to watch and, like, really enjoyed it. Then as soon as we went back to present day, in the other film, in the second one, as soon as we went back to present day, it was really fast. It was like a 20-minute lapse of just, like, what do we got to do? And here it was in an hour. We had an hour left, and I was like, that's crazy. And they really belabored the point. They really made it really, really, really slow. It felt like a 2-hour movie just for the second half, which is why I thought about maybe changing this up, and I think it might have worked better as a 6-episode miniseries instead of a 3 movie trilogy, which I gotta say I'm very impressed with Netflix. Having a 3-part trilogy coming out literally weeks apart is not only extremely risky, but very well done as well. And I think that they will at some point go back to doing something like that, and it's really, really going to work out for them because this is very popular. It's all good. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. So good for them. But I think that maybe a 6-episode miniseries can both make the story better by enhancing some of the shorter parts and making some of the longer parts a little shorter. But also make more money. It's 6 weeks instead of 3. But I think that overall, I'm happy with it regardless. I think that it's a good trilogy, but I think it could work better as a miniseries, but maybe that's just a me thing. I think that overall, the ending of the series was good, but long. There's this crazy thing that happens in the mall, and it takes literally an hour to do, and it's really, really, really annoying. It's not even a bad thing. I think it's a good ending. It just took so long to actually end. It was kind of rough, but it's okay. We forgive them. Back to the part where we talk about what could happen in the future. I don't think we'll get a Fear Street Part 4. It left it open. I'm not going to tell you what happens. There's kind of something that could happen, but this is something that R.L. Stine always does and will always do. I don't know if he's still writing, but he always ended his books very much so on a cliffhanger where, everyone knew that he was never going to come back to it. He was never going to finish it. But there was always, this weird thing where, you think it's resolved, and all of a sudden it's he always does that. It's, something I always loved when I was a kid. And here he does kind of the same thing, the production team, I should say. And I in a movie format, it doesn't quite work as well because it really does make you think there's more. I don't expect it to be a Fear Street Part 4. I really don't. However, this could branch into a different series, or even a different movie or a spin-off, which, with how popular these movies are and how good they are, I think it's possible they could do it and it could work. It's a little too late to film one for now. I apologize that the camera's freaking out. I gotta get a new camera. I'm just gonna use my phone soon once I get a new setup, but that'll be later. But I think that if we start working a little bit more on getting actual solid base stuff first, like this, a solid base of a trilogy, they could branch off. And if they start working on a new one now, we could see another trilogy next October. And it could be something that's in Shady Side. It could be 20 years later or whatever. And it could be really interesting. I don't know if they're going to go that route, but they left it open so that they could. And I'm willing to bet that they left it open so that they could because they didn't know how popular these were going to be. And I think they're popular. I don't know. I haven't looked at anything, but I think it's good. I would definitely watch another trilogy. I'd watch a miniseries. I'd watch a spinoff. If they do something else, I will be reviewing it. And it's solidly enjoyable, but definitely not the best thing I've ever seen. It's fine for a little bit of a modern, it's a slasher film. Modern slasher film definitely has a lot of modern stuff in it, lots of young adult stuff, which is really good for me. I love when we put some young adult stuff in horror, and it all made sense. And so I'm going to go ahead and give Fear Street Part 3, 1666, a B+. If you haven't already checked it out, it is on Netflix. All 3 parts are streaming on Netflix. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely check it out. I will be releasing one more new release today, and that'll be Space Jam: A New Legacy. I'm going to go check that out. I'm going to be at the theater at 1:40 today. So probably between 5 and 6, I'll upload my review for it. So make sure you guys are subscribing so you don't miss that. Once we hit 150 subscribers, I'm going to be dressing up like Spider-Man and going to Walmart. So if you want to see that, which I know you do, hit that subscribe button. But without any more belaboring the point, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. It's a good day. Here in Oneonta, it's actually not too bad weather right now, so make sure you're out enjoying the sun. But as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.